It's not an easy. People don't understand how hard that really is. It's not that easy a slam dunk.
No, not what it used to be.
No, you know that you won't believe this. I was once a pharmacist's assistant as a little kid in Queens, New York. You know that they used to actually make prescriptions with a mortar and pestle in those days?
Oh, yeah?
I swear, I don't mean all of them. I mean, most of it was pills counting out of a jar. But once in a while, an old-fashioned doctor would give a prescription, and the pharmacist would have to mix things up with a mortar and pestle. Would you believe it?
We still do that sometimes.
Really? Is that true? They still do? What kind of chemicals do they call for? Do you know?
The process is called compounding pharmacy. There are a bunch of different things you put in. Depends on the prescription.
What do you mean? Like sulfur might still be one of those compounded ingredients?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I suffered from, if I had a little cold sore that got out of control, the doctor gave, in those days you can't get it anymore. It was, what was it? It was spirits of camphor on a, I'll bet you're going to finish this for me. You took a Q-tip. You dipped it into spirits of camphor, which burn like heck, and you dipped that into sulfur powder, and you applied that to the cold sore. It burnt it right off your face in about a day. Do you know that?
Yeah, we use something else now for the cold sore, but we use camphor for other things.
Camphor, I'm sorry. Yeah, camphor is very powerful. It was spirits of camphor with sulfur. That's what we use. But there's over-the-counter preps, which literally combine those two elements more or less. But sulfur isn't used anymore. Hey, Mark, let me send you a copy of my novel. I'm sure you'll enjoy reading it while counting out pills. Countdown to Mecca. It goes along with counting pills. Oh, the count right now is 17 minutes after the hour. I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
My Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com. It's the only company I trust to protect my wealth. Call 800-BUY-COIN. Here's a nice headline on the Drudge Report. Feds approve ferry service to Cuba. Isn't that nice? I mean, if you want to bring in illegal aliens or contraband, what could be better than a ferry? Now you don't have to fly it in, you just float it in. That's all. What could be better? I started out to go to Cuba. Now it's going to be easy. Feds approve ferry service to Cuba. Isn't that wonderful? You know, it's nice to have a liberal as a president because it's all for the good of mankind. Look at Bill Clinton, how much good he's done and how well he's doing indeed. I mean, Bill Clinton didn't raise money for himself or the family. Those big speeches for $500,000 here, $750 there. It's for the betterment of poor Africans and Asians because they need him. They need the great white father of Bill Clinton to save them. They can't do it on their own. And that's why Bill Clinton raises the money. He gives his revenue away. You know. Listen to clip 25 of your friend Bill Clinton, how good he is.
I don't think there's anything sinister in trying to get wealthy people in countries that are seriously involved in development to spend their money wisely in a way that helps poor people and lifts them up. I don't think there's anything bad with that. I think it's good.
How come he has that voice? He's such a P.T. Barnum. Are you kidding me? Wealthy people in countries which are seriously involved in development? Every word is jargon. To spend their money wisely, like on Gulfstream 650s, trips to the brothel capitals of Europe, the best of champagne, jewelry, diamonds, elephant tusks. And that helps poor people. When you think about it, if you're a bourgeois Chinese and you've made a fortune, however you've made it, why not have the poor people of Africa slaughter elephants and waste entire herds so you can have a little trinket in your living room that you can show off to your other pig friends, a nice piece of ivory? What do you care about the elephants? Because if you follow Bill Clinton's illogic on this, he's helping all the poor Africans who slaughter elephants. Think of the money they're making killing an elephant. Those tusks are very valuable. It doesn't matter if they cut the tusks off while the mother elephant is dying slowly in agony on the ground while her babies are crying and run off into the woods to be devoured by lions. No, what matters is that the poor African who slaughters the elephant made some money off the tusks, and that the bourgeois Chinese, the middle class, which were as garish as the Americans in the 1950s, if not worse, have a nice elephant tusk carved into something of ivory for their living room. And look at all of the poor people who benefited from that work. And that's why I say Bill Clinton's not really lying to you when he says to you that there's nothing sinister in trying to get wealthy people in countries which are seriously involved in development to spend their money wisely that helps poor people. He's only telling it like it is. Now listen to how good he is in clip 27. It gets even better.
I give 10% of my revenue off the top every year to the foundation. And Hillary, in the year she was there, gave 17. Over the last 15 years, I've taken almost no capital gains. It's the most independence I can get. Wow. If I had a business relationship with somebody, they would have a target on their back from the day they did business with me till the end. Any kind of disclosure is a target. But it looks bad. There's no facts, of course.
No, of course not, because there's no investigation. None whatsoever. Now, there are grounds for a Justice Department investigation, but that's oxymoronic. We have no Justice Department. We don't have a Justice Department. We have a Civil Rights Division under Obama that goes out only after people who oppose Obama and his liberal socialist policies. So you think they're going to investigate? You try having a foundation as rich as that you live off in soft ways and tell me if you can get away with it. Sinister isn't even the word for it. 855-407-282. Quick call, KERN in Kern County in Southern California, right near that mountain pass to L.A. David, welcome to the Savage Nation. Go ahead, please.
Hi, you mentioned you had a dream earlier in the show, and I was just going to give you my instinctive quick interpretation.
All right, I had a dream about a white elephant that was blindfolded, that was wandering around aimlessly, and a donkey was behind it consuming its waste. It's dung. It's dung. It was an ugly dream, but I didn't create it. I just had it. Okay, so I can't blame myself. So what does the dream mean to you?
It's foreshadowing. It's a lesson of what has happened, and it's foreshadowing what's to come. The Bush administration is the elephant, and it took a big dump, proverbial dump, on the country. And the donkey ingesting it is the Democratic Party absorbing everything that the Bush administration has left behind. With Obama increasing extending the Patriot Act, increasing troop surges in the Middle East, increasing NSA back.
Right, but to add to fuel to fire, he's now stirring up civil unrest from city to city on top of it all.
See what it
because he wants to leave the Republicans who are likely to win with a mess they cannot clean up. The man wants to sack the nation so that they can have 8 years of blaming the Republicans, and we the people are stuck without representation.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
What's somewhere else? They're on the Wallbangers channel now. I don't know. They want to listen to racism, this, that, Ferguson, Baltimore. I could care less. I'm so sick of it all, I'll be honest with you. And I've said this before. They're never going to convert to Islam. I don't think you understand what I just said to you. Catholicism is so deeply rooted in the Hispanic people. Could you actually believe that Muslims are going to convert them to their religion? No. And I was on the beach down in, I was near Manhattan Beach in L.A. about 2 months ago, standing on a boardwalk. It was actually the Hermosa Beach boardwalk. And I looked down on the beach, and I saw the families, the white families, the black families, the Hispanic families, and I saw the men with their wives and children on that beach. And I looked at them. I just watched them leaning over the rail, watching the world go by. I observed. And I had a good feeling about the future of America. I said, the family is so strong in the Hispanic culture. They're not going to let anyone rip their religion away from them because their religion is the glue that holds their family together. I don't think anyone's expressed that as succinctly as I have on the radio. I'm sure it's been written. I'm sure people have kind of suggested it. That's a good thing. I don't want to just sit here, everything's bad, nothing's good, America's dead. I don't believe it, by the way. America is changing. America will change. Everything changes. Nothing remains the same. I get that. We're going through a huge social upheaval because of the demon in the White House. The least of our problems are the Hispanics, by the way. This is an astonishing story that I'm about to tell you. It is an astonishing story that I'm about to tell you. There's a trade deal that the traitor in the White House is trying to push right now with the help of the Republicans. They're all traitors. This deal is such a sellout for America that even Harry Reid opposes it. I swear to God, this is something you'll never believe in a million years. Harry Reid throws brakes on Obama trade push is the headline on Fox News. My headline is a little different. Trade treason is what I call it. Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid is jamming up President Obama's push for a new comprehensive trade deal, saying he'll try to block it until the Senate tackles other hot-button issues. Now, what this trade deal is, no one really knows, but they kind of know. It's a sellout of the American worker by Obama and the Republicans. This is amazing. Think about what I'm saying to you. The Republicans under Obama, the Republicans and Obama, rather, want to give Asia a trade deal that will destroy us completely. And the only ones stopping it are the Democrats for reasons that are their own, probably because they have to go back to the workers in their communities and explain to them why they eroded the working man once again. But listen to this. You got to listen to this Senate leader Mitch McConnell. You know, the gobbler, the guy who looks like a turkey with the gullet hanging down from the chin. This guy is one of the worst Benedict Arnolds in the history of America. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, the gobbler, urged his Republican colleagues to support Obama's trade push. And here's what he said. He said, of course, we've already heard of an attempt to stand in the way of the bipartisan effort to debate this legislation. We already heard of yet another effort to make a partisan stand against a bipartisan accomplishment that would help grow opportunities for our constituents. He means the lobbyists. The only opportunities that will grow are those pushed by the Better Business Bureau and the few companies that will benefit from this. You see, Obama is pushing a 12-nation agreement known as the Trans-Pac Partnership, which would open markets around the Pacific Rim to U.S. exports. On the face of it, that sounds good. But that's not exactly what it really is. Because to complete this deal, it's a little complicated, so I'll stop. I'll make it one sentence. To complete this deal, Obama has to win expanded negotiating authority from the U.S. Congress. And who is opposing him? Liberals and labor unions, who say they fear the loss of American jobs. I'm with the liberals and labor unions on this. I'm totally opposed to the Republican big businessmen on this. I'm sorry. What, do I have to go party line? I'm not in the Rush cartel. I call them as I see them. It's that simple. A conspiracy theorist of 10 years ago is a mainstreamer today. You know that. Virtually everything that conspiracy theorists proposed 10 years ago was happening to the country. I'll give you 4 examples. You can give me some. Back when I was in radio in the 90s, mid-90s, we opposed NAFTA. We said it would destroy jobs in America. We said it would destroy factories in America. We said it would bring illegal aliens and drugs into America. Were we wrong or were we right? The North American Free Trade Agreement decimated the industrial base of America, decimated us, exported jobs, exported factories. We were not wrong. Remember the World Trade Organization, the WTO? Has that worked out for America? No, it's weakened American manufacturing. This is just a continuation of the weakening and hollowing out of Obama's secret trade pact. Do you know it's so secret right now that even Nancy Pelosi opposes it? I swear to God. The secrecy surrounding Obama's treasonous trade pact is such that the lawmakers who are allowed to look at the bill have to go into the basement of the building where the documents are hidden. They cannot take their notes with them. They're not allowed to discuss the details with the public. Can you imagine a president as degenerate as this? A man as retrograde as this? A man as demonic as this? A man as fascistic as this getting away with this? Sure you can. Why? Because except for a few websites and a few radio shows, no one is telling you how demonic the man really is. The U.S. ran more than $50 billion in a trade deficit last month. $50 billion in 1 month, and this guy wants to give away what's left. You hear this? All right, you're not interested in this. I know the emotional topics. I get it. I know what people call about. You want to talk more about the Texas shooting? What more do I have to say than I already said yesterday? Thank God for the Texas traffic cop who, despite the fact that he's being shot at by Muslims with machine guns. Ooh, did I say Muslims? Why did I have to say Muslims? Oh, that is so politically insensitive of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, because they were doing it because they were Muslims.